Hi there! I am totally gobsmacked. Totally gobsmacked. Whatever video I was going to do today has been blown out the window. Because of today's been a very strange and wonderful day. And about an hour and a half ago, somebody made it an extraordinary day. And it's all because of YouTube. Years ago, when I first learned how to use a computer, and that was when I got my first computer that my sons put together for me at home, I remember belonging to women's groups on MSN, and we used to have it was just like a lot of fun and everything, you know, we'd talk, go into chat rooms and everything else. And we really got to know each other, and we would email each other and everything else. But nobody saw anybody. Nobody saw each other. It was all just done through the keyboard. And I talk a lot about the awesome circle of women that we have, our group, on YouTube. And I'm not excluding anybody. It's just that for anybody over the age of 40, we seem to have conglomerated together. And yes, we do go and watch a lot of other videos. I know I do. I love going and watching all the superstars and the ones that have agents and the ones that really know what they're doing. And that crazy graveyard girl there, who was bullied all through high school, and she's turned herself around, and she's got more than 3 million subscribers, or maybe even more. And you know what? Good on her. Good on her. Because she turned something bad that other people were doing to her into something good that she's doing for other people who might have the same kind of low self-esteem or whatever. And she's a magnificent little girl. So if you haven't seen her, I think she's called Grave 3-Yard Girl. Anyway, you must all know her. She's got longish teeth, and she wears bright red lipstick, and she tries out all the different products that come on the TV commercials and everything else, and she is just, you have to go to the bathroom before you watch her because she's hilarious. She's a hoot. Anyway, I was going to do a video on, well, the first thing I'll say on this video is that I'm not wearing my Candy Yum Yum. This is the lipstick that Debbie gave me, and it's called Melon Shimmer, and it's by True Color, and it's a beautiful color, as you can see. It's Melon Shimmer. I just put I put some, what did I put under it? Oh, just a very pale color. Anyways, and it looks almost, and then somebody else is saying that there's a couple of dupes for Candy Yum Yum. No, I've got the couple of dupes, and they're not dupes for Candy Yum Yum. They're close, but they're not Candy Yum Yum. Anyway, so getting back to today. Well, first of all, I have 2 sons that I adore, and because of something that happened a few months ago, because of something that my older son and I, we've had our ups and downs for many years. As you all know, I am a recovering alcoholic, but I've been sober for 24 years, and he went through a large part of that. And when you go through things with an alcoholic parent, it does really have an effect, and it affected him. But I figured after I've been sober for 24 years, when is this man going to forgive me? And basically he has, but every once in a while something would come up, or he wouldn't call, or he just, anyway. And I stopped talking to him, and I never thought I could do that. I could never understand mothers who didn't talk to their children. But I got so hurt by him that I stopped talking to him about 3 months ago. And I was talking to my sister this morning, saying how it was killing me and everything else, and she couldn't understand how I was doing it, and I didn't know how I was doing it. But then I figured, you know, like I never know if I'm going to be here from today till tomorrow. Anybody on dialysis is in that position if you're not in great health. And I kept thinking, like, what if something happens to me and the last words I spoke to my son were words of anger? And so I decided, after speaking to my sister, but I would have probably done it this week anyway. But, you know, she's still my older sister. And I decided to call him. And I called and I left a message and he wasn't there. And within 2 seconds he called me back and it was just like nothing had ever happened. And that just took 3,000 pounds of a broken heart away from me. Because when you have 2 sons and you've lost other children, you know, your children are your children are your children. And if you're a good mother, if you're a mother, you just have that bond. Like, you remember when they were born, you remember holding them when they're babies, and it's just this bond that most mothers have, and it's something that I really, really wished to have happen to little Julie May, who's trying so hard to get pregnant. And then you think of all the women in the world who are really, really bad mothers, and it makes me sick, you know, when people are trying so hard to have children. But that's not what I came on here to talk about. Anyway, so I'm really happy that I'm speaking to my son again. I don't know how long it could have gone on, but it's the first time in my life that I went so long without speaking to him. And I feel much, much better. Really, I feel great. What else happened today? Something else happened today. Well, anyways, it's all been... Okay, I got a phone call this afternoon from somebody who I connected with immediately upon coming onto YouTube. And she made this offer to me. And she told me that she didn't want anyone to know in case it all fell through. Well, there's a good chance that it is all going to fall through, because I might not be able to go through with it, or I might be gone before the opportunity arises. But I just have to say it in case anything does happen to me before we get a chance to try this out. McKelly, and I can't cry again because the two of us were crying on the phone. McKelly offered me a kidney. She offered me the gift of life. Me. We've never met in person, but we connected, just like Natalie and I connect. But Kelly, she never met me. But this woman, her heart is so big, and you people are so wonderful. And I met so many awesome women. But my God, you know, like when I went to the kidney parade, one man came up to me who had a transplant, and 15 people had come forward to offer him a kidney. I haven't had anybody offer me a kidney. My older son, the one I was talking about, he offered me a kidney at the beginning, but I said no, I would never take a kidney from my children because of the kidney history in my family, which none of us knew about until we ended up on dialysis. And my younger son has one kidney smaller than the other, so I wouldn't let him do it. But McKelly offered to give me a kidney. She is willing to go through all the tests, to come here to Quebec. I have to ask my doctor to send her doctor all the paraphernalia on me. And Kelly, what do you say when somebody offers you years, perhaps, of living normally again, after the past 4 years of living this horrible, horrible, horrible way of life? I can't see you face to face, but I had to do this video. I just had to thank you. To thank you from the bottom of my heart. And as I told you, I have a rare disease called chronic pyelonephritis. And when I was diagnosed with it in 1991, the doctor told me right at the time that eventually I would probably end up on dialysis. And I knew a little bit about kidney transplants, and I said, well, and I was working for him, I said, well, couldn't I have a transplant? And he said, no, because they haven't been able to do it on people with your disease. They just die on the table. And a few months ago, if you remember, to my older subscribers, I don't mean older in age, to my long-time subscribers, I said, I told you that I was going to go for a transplant. I spoke to the doctor, and he says, well, we're going to give it a try, but you have to go through a barrage of tests. Most people, when they get a kidney transplant, they just have the kidney put in between their other 2 kidneys, which are mostly dead, but it's a lot harder on the donor than it is on the person getting the kidney. In my case, they would have to take out my 2 kidneys, which are shriveled little things, they don't work anymore, and then put the kidney in me, and it would be like probably a good month in the hospital, I'm not sure. But it would be more complicated for me than for somebody else, and that's why I sort of balked at having it done when he told me what I would have to go through. And then the other thing is that usually when you're older, you usually end up getting a kidney from a cadaver. And I've seen people with kidney transplants that they've had them for 35 years. I've seen people with kidney transplants that last for a couple of months and then they fail. I've seen marriages. One marriage in my group broke up because this fellow finally took a kidney from his wife. He didn't want to, and it lasted 2 months, and now they're divorced. He was so mad at her for giving a kidney to him. He's just a really sweet guy, and now they're the best of friends, but they're no longer married. So the video I was planning to do today has just turned into one to tell you how very, very wonderful people in this world really are. And you don't know it. Like, you don't know it. I mean, can you imagine somebody calling you up right out of the blue and offering you a kidney? When you're a kidney a dialysis patient, the lifespan generally is 4 to 6 years. 4 to 6 years. If you're in perfect health, you can go on for a long time. I'm not in perfect health, so I've already been on it for 4 years, and I feel myself getting more tired, and it's harder to do things and everything else. But I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than I was before dialysis. But, like, we never know. I mean, I've lost so many friends in dialysis. We see them 1 week. For one of my friends, Shirley, I think she was 52. You see her 1 week, and then the next week she had a heart attack on the dialysis chair. Because when you're on dialysis, your blood pressure goes up and down. And I'm not trying to make this a down video, but the way a dialysis patient has to live is day to day. And I'm not blessed with a great faith. I really am not. I wish I was. I wish I just believed in God the way that so many other people do. And I would just not worry about it. I'd say, oh well, I'm going to die and I'm going to go to heaven and everything's going to be wonderful. I'm not that. I'm a doubting Thomas. I'm a doubting Thomas. Even though I've seen, like I told you, I've seen miracles. I'm not smart enough to know what's going to happen in the afterlife. I do believe very strongly in spirits because I've seen them. I've seen all kinds of wondrous things happen in this world. But for myself, I haven't seen much hope, and I didn't have any kind of straw to hang on to. And now McKelly, who has a YouTube channel here, has given me a glimmer of hope. And the chances of her being a match for me, we don't even know what her blood type is. But can you imagine, this woman gave me an offer of her kidney. Kelly, I don't know how to thank you. I don't know how to thank you. And it's just going to be fun going through the process. I don't know what you were watching. She was watching something on TV. I remember years ago watching a story about a taxi driver. And he would drive this woman to dialysis every night because she was on the night shift. And she always looked so miserable, and she'd sit in the back seat and she'd be crying or whatever. And he finally said to her, what is wrong? Why are you always so miserable? And she said, because I'm a dialysis patient and this is my life. And she always had the same taxi driver because she lived in a small town. Well, they did a documentary on it, and this lovely taxi driver donated a kidney to this woman. Now, I don't know if they fell in love or whatever, because I know they both were single, and she was probably about 60, he was probably about 60, and it never showed what happened after, but I know that she did get the kidney from him, and she didn't have to go to dialysis anymore. A couple of days ago, one of the guys in my dialysis room, Bill, I hadn't seen him in a couple of months, so I thought he was dead, or he was downstairs. The first thing we think of is that they're dead, because the nurses don't say anything to us, and they just act like nothing's happened, because it's such an everyday occurrence that, you just have to ask, and half the time you're afraid to ask because you don't want to find out that one of your good friends is gone. So finally I couldn't stand it anymore, and I was about to ask where he was, and I was sitting downstairs with my best friend in dialysis, Ben, and along walks Bill. And I said, Bill, where have you been? And he said, I just got my catheter taken out. And so I thought he got some other form of dialysis treatment. And I said, what do you mean? And then I said, oh my God, no, because some people, they just find dialysis too hard, and they go for a couple of months, a couple of weeks, a couple of years, and then just say, this is not life. I can't eat anything. I can't drink properly. I'm tired all the time. When you have kidney failure stage 4, it affects all your other organs, and it's just like, you know you're going to die sooner or later, and it's not a pretty death. But so a lot of people choose not to have dialysis, and so I thought that's what happened to him, because he was, I guess, Bill's about 65, 70, and I felt really terrible when he said that. But he was taken off of dialysis. He was taken off of dialysis, and my primary nurse, Kathy, I was telling her about it, and she said in her, I don't know, 30, 40 year career, she said she's only seen 4 people go on dialysis and come off it. And I know that Tracy, my little sunny side up, her mother was on dialysis. That's why I have such a strong bond with Tracy. And I don't know all the details. I know sometimes people are on dialysis just to save their lives when their organs start failing, and that's pretty typical. Like if somebody's really dying, they'll put you on dialysis, even little kids, and then once everything starts working in your body, dialysis is no longer a part of your life. It's just something they did to save your kidneys from failing. But when you become a long-term dialysis patient, this is your life. And I'm very grateful I have it, because I would have been dead 4 years ago. But today, the 8th of July, I will never, never forget this day as long as I live. And Kelly McKelly, sweetheart, whatever my doctor is going to tell your doctor, and there's a good chance that I won't even be able to have a transplant, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you have offered me years and years and years of a normal life again. And for that, I can never repay you. And I know you told me that you didn't want me to do a video on it, but I'm sorry, I had to. I'm very, very good at keeping secrets. I'm very good at being anonymous, because I'm in alcohol. Well, I was in Alcoholics Anonymous. But sweetheart, this is something I want to shout from the rooftops, but I won't. But I think the women of YouTube, I think we have to know. We have to know what a special bond we have. We really do. And so this, Kelly, is a big thank you to you. If it works, I will have years of a normal life. If it doesn't work, I will die knowing that you offered me a kidney to have a normal life. And that has to be the most precious gift anybody's ever offered me. Really. So, anyway, so we're expecting a big boom boom thunderstorm here, and I just came on. I had to come on and do this. I just had to. I was coming on to do a makeup video or fill in my trenches or whatever, and I just wanted to pour my heart out to Kelly and to let you all know what a wonderful, wonderful person she is. There's Kelly, there's, oh my God, there's there's Colleen, there's Christine from Australia, there's Joe and Carolyn and Janice and Pebbles and Kristen, and oh my God, there's so many amazing women on here. And Jamie Lynn Barton, what the hell was that? She's this Jamie Lynn Barton. I mean, she's up there, and she's absolutely gorgeous. And I went on her video this morning, and there's 13 thumbs down. Like, who are these sickies? Why do these people do things like that? Why would somebody put a thumbs down on somebody's video except to be mean? I mean, why? If you don't like something or you don't like somebody's video, just go to another video. Don't be mean and put a thumbs down. You know, because the first thing you saw when you went to Jamie's video, and there was nothing wrong with her video, she looked absolutely stunning, was, I think it was either 8 or 13 thumbs down. And Jamie, you don't deserve that. So anyways, I'm not going to get into a rant, but anyways, Kelly, this is your video. I can never thank you enough. I am so glad I came on YouTube, not just for that, but I always know that there's a reason for meeting people, or even not meeting people who you're going to meet. Just like I met Natalie, and like we're like almost like blood sisters. I mean, we have so much in common. She called me today, and I was having a nap, and I came out and I looked at the phone number and I said, my God, is my second husband alive? Or what the hell is this? It was his phone number. Because I'm not going to give away her. But anyways, the phone number she called me from was the phone number where my husband, my second husband who died, had worked for 21 years. And I hadn't seen that number since he died. And there it was on my phone. And I went, what? And it was little Natalie. So, thank you all very much. Thank you, Kelly McKelly. You made it a very, very special day. I've totally lost my appetite. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And so, little Julie May out there, you're trying to have a baby. And if you just keep believing in miracles, sweetheart. And that bloody package, the one giveaway package that I sent to some, well, I've given a couple of gifts, but I can't believe it hasn't reached you yet. I think somebody must have stolen it. And that really pees me off, because I put a special charm in there for you. But anyways, Holly and I are working on tracking this thing down for you. And so that's it for me. I probably gabbled on for ages. I don't know. I don't care. I had to do this video. So, hasta la vista. I will see you guys in a few days whenever I do my next video. And I love you all. And Kelly, I'm sending you the biggest hug that you've ever received in your life. And sweetie, you are an awesome, beautiful, wonderful, kind, giving, generous. I don't know what to say. So, except thank you. So I'm going to say au revoir de Montreal. Hope you all have a wonderful week. I know that tomorrow I'm going to go in and talk to my doctor. And like I said, there's probably a good chance that I can't. But even if I can't, the fact, it doesn't matter. The fact is that it was offered to me. And that makes all the difference in the world to me. Okay, so you guys be good. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye now. Love you all. Oh, I gotta say this. Oh, I wonder if this came out.